Folks, with absolutely no warning screen, welcome directly to the Combat Jam Chaotic Zaz Edition. We're going to be making a combat game using the whole systems of the combat system. That is the plan. I'm going to go over that very, very briefly, but we have a ton of resources and we're going to link out to them. Right now, the number one place you're going to want to be is in our Discord. So if you're watching this in the future, jump straight to there. And for everybody who's joining us, I will remind you frequently throughout this exciting combatful adventure. The Big Bang Discord is where it's at. In the creator discussion channel is where you're going to find a ton of useful stuff relative to the Combat Jam. Can I make, or could some very smart person, wait, no, I think this link will work. Drop a link in the chat that goes directly to the, I'm gonna try this. Hopefully this will actually take you, beat me to it. Quick draw over there, but it does mean I got the right link. So look at me. Yeah. So, and hello, Summer Superb. Thank you. Yes, let's do this. It's going to be combat full, and I will quit shooting my cuffs in just a moment. But in the meantime, let's make my head smaller. Step one. Boom. And I will show you this, the illustrious Combat Jam itch page that I made. I'm very excited about this. This is like the first time we got to try out being on an itch.io jam. So you can join here with the itch.io jam link, which other clever people will also throw in the chat for me. But right now we've got a couple of people already joined, and we've got a basic overview that'll also get you things. And then later today, I'm going to drop a tutorial. It's all on the Discord, but you'll be able to find it on one page made by the cleverest Boo Radley that I know, who that documents basically how to use all of these systems that you can see here in this area that we're calling the workbench. But don't let me just tell you about it. Let's play a little Combat Jam. Let's just, one quick warm up through. I think the base game does not take long to play. So I will do Zet, and anybody else can join me in. Oh, beat me to it again. So fast. So fast. So welcome to Combat Game. Hello. This is what we will be taking apart, this cute little bat. As a bat habitat advocate and for their pollinators, don't love that I'm fighting a bat, but it is pretty standard. I considered making a spider for this stream, but I know arachnophobia is no fun. And I will make killer tarantulas in my own time, where no one has to watch it. So it'll be glorious. All right, so yeah, we're proceeding through. If you're checking out the dissection here, you can see there's this very cool system that teleports you from one platform to another. And we've got a coin pickup that if you notice, even when, like, let's say that coin drops and it looks like other people got it, but I still get to get it. And that's because the coins right now go to everybody, but you can actually choose that as a setting. So it's kind of fun if you're kind of thinking about something you could make in a week and play with your friends over the weekend. That is the kind of energy that we've got going on here with these systems, more depending on how much you want this to look different. But we're going to dissect it all eventually. You can also notice here we got little melee skeleton and little range skeleton, and then a fork in the road. I'm going to choose this one, and this takes me to the store. We got a little NPC there. Looks around, looks at you. Look at him. He's looking at Heather there. And then we can buy different weapons. I have how much gold? 22 gold. Does this persist? That must be left over from before. So let's get this super beautiful black bow. I love it. And you can see on, I think on mobile it doesn't do this, but on web you get this aiming arrow that's pretty cool. Or do we have a different mobile friendly version of this game? Is that how?
No, basically range weapons just don't work on mobile right now because we're waiting for a feature. Once Big Bang gives us that feature, then we will update this game so that range works on mobile. So if you're on mobile, please take a sword to fight.
Okay, so if I were making a mobile game, I would just delete all the range stuff for it, but there isn't a version of the example that does that already?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, well, maybe that'll be something we do. Yeah, I like the ranged aiming. It's very friendly to somebody like me who needs a little time to figure out what they're doing. But let's get to that boss fight so we can actually start making some stuff. Hello, Francisco Jadiel. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are excited to do some game jamming. And if you'd like to tell us about your plans or experience with game jams, I'm excited to hear about them. Oh, you guys already defeated the boss without me. This is my problem. And I just get the profits. You know, this is how I'm rolling. It's just getting to benefit from oh my god, there he is. So this is the boss. Is the shopkeeper the same NPC?
They're all these sort of monster characters have related pieces, but I made
okay,
special
all right. Some
textures,
spiritual overlap, some history together. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is once you get in this game, anybody can do it right now. You're gonna hit this remix button, and that makes you your own copy of the game, which will probably be my like 4th copy of the game by now. But it's nice because you can start some things over. So once I'm in edit mode, I can press the stop button and see what this looks like when it's not running. And you get like a whole beautiful overview of what's going on here, right? Which is that those teleports were between these floating islands, and they're actually laid. I don't think they have to be, but they are laid out sort of like how they feel on the map. I guess if you wanted to make a mini map, we have a resource for that and capture the doodle, but that is not what I'm going over today. But then you find the secret area that you could not teleport to, which is, we're going to call it this, the workbench, not the platform of doom. Although I do love the platform of doom.
I thought it was going to be the workroom.
Did I just move to workbench and it's been workroom this whole time? It is more roomier than bench. That makes much more sense. Okay, workroom. I remember the work part. Okay, I may have written that wrong somewhere by now. But anyway, I think I called it. I think if you go to the itch page, I'm pretty sure I call it the platform of information or something very awkward. Let's see. Let's just check. What is it called? Platform of scripts and resources. You know, okay, so this is the workroom, and it's got all of the mechanics. So the scripts, if you're not familiar with Big Bang, right, this is like a little bit, all of the scripts are in things. Oh, thank you so much. Slack notification for things. Welcome to the Doom Bench. Yes, thank you, Gaming in the Wild. That is, oh my God, Gaming in the Wild. I have listened to your podcast. Yes, I like the Doom Bench too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's Doom is sort of like an important, aesthetic thing that we need to use here, so that that will definitely do it. Anyway, so basically, if you're not familiar with Big Bang, right, scripts are in things, but we have a bunch of clever ways of taking scripts that are like, controller type things. Why did the click not work? Okay, here we go. So this icon here, right, is the convention is this is like back end type stuff. So this is going to be controllers, game logic, that kind of stuff. Boo Radley tends to put in these little, well, they look like barrels to me, but okay. So the back end barrels, we're going to refer to them now. They have several different scripts in them, including, yeah, I guess these don't have the gizmo because they show up the whole time. But yeah, so we're going to be able to access all of these. And again, if you go to, I'll just pull up so you can see it in, see my Discord here, which is like, Discord is like, you are streaming, please do not show, well, anyway, we should be probably more careful, but in this basic comp example, you'll see it's really the documentation for all of these scripts as well. So you've got that available to check out and understand. But you can honestly, like, a lot of these you can sort of figure out. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the weapon database, and you'll see that, like, okay, here's the database and it has no properties. So probably if it has no properties, I don't need to mess with it, because the basic principle is you don't actually have to write any scripts. You can to use this game to make a really customized experience, and that's because of these properties. But then like I'm noticing this, I'm like, wow, this script weapon data, like they copied it too many times. And if I look at it, actually each one of them is holding data for a weapon. So we've got the rusty sword, that's the one I started out with when I was playing this game. We've got the basic bow, we saw that in the shop. And then all of a sudden it starts making sense. The dark bow, that's the one I bought. So basically, we're going to be going through and clicking on these little barrels to mess with a bunch of things. And there's like a ton of info in here. So if I were to, I don't know if I can just like move my character spawn to run around this, but I don't really want to because a bunch of it disappears when I, let's see here. Let's go into, am I in advance? Why don't I don't have a pause because I don't have a start. So if I went to fly camera, I could come back here, but you'll see a bunch of things are missing, which totally threw me off in the beginning. I was like, why are there no spawn sound SFX? There should be something I can click. But if I press stop, you see it all comes back. And the basic thing that I was going to do with this game is, so we've got all these platforms and stuff like that, was like kind of ruin everything. So right now we've got like a lovely, because this, you know, again, chaos energy is what we're cultivating here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make this feel like a Dot Big Bang game. And because there's more stuff in here than in the base game, I'm going to take the base game things and move this in here instead of the other way around. But we're gonna keep the whole platform teleport thing. They're just gonna look different at the end of this because, well, I'll show you. So I'm gonna go to game.new to basically make an empty game. And I probably could have done this with a bunch of different things. But what I want to do is we'll press stop, and I want to get the default camera. And make a template out of it so that I can bring it in. And this is basically how you're going to pass things from game to game throughout Dot Big Bang. Besides the fact that like voxel objects, you can just, you know, once you've made them, you can access from any game that you've made them. And if you make them usable by other people, then anybody can access them. It's glorious. But if for more complex logic, and same thing with scripts, but for more like complex logic, I'm going to basically make a template. So I'll go in the entity section and I'll say new template. And I'm going to rename it default camera so that I know which one is my default camera. We're going to save that. We're going to go to back Big Bang. Oh, I forgot this was a multiplayer edit session. I don't actually want that. So we're going to go in here and we're just going to go to this. And let me rename this. So we're going to call this basic combat example live stream edition. And we'll save that. So in case anybody wants to remix whatever ridiculous thing I'm about to make, then they can do that. And we're going to change the camera back to the default camera. For one thing, it's like getting to see behind the scenes in a haunted house when you change the camera. So I really just have enjoyed doing that for the most part. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to templates. I'm going to swatch it from featured to mine. And then default camera is going to be my last thing. I'm literally just going to drag this guy into the scene. Let's stop so that it actually shows up there. And maybe I actually want it on the workbench of Doom because it jumps to the spawn point. So it doesn't need to be in any particular place. But to actually change the camera, what I need to do is in the save options, go from camera to, oh, it's called camera 1. I should rename the entity as well. Default camera. Okay, I should have done that when I saved the template, but here we are. So now I'm looking in D for, I could actually type something, or I could just scroll through the immense amount of stuff that's in here that I think is pretty cool. All right, default. Okay, this search didn't update, so I'm looking for camera 1. Okay, so we'll select that, and then if I save that and press play, then you're going to see I've got basically like a normal DBB game feels. Sorry, it's very hard to play because I can't click things because I'm in edit mode. But you'll have to believe me. Unfortunately, the way I play involves a lot of running away from things anyway, but now I can swirl my camera all the way around and I can still hit these teleporting platforms. And it's actually kind of fun because it really sort of, I don't know, you can sort of imagine that it connects to these sort of islands I can barely see in the distance, and it's very fun. Okay, so let's stop. So we did our first amount of damage, but it created a problem, which is that we're going to need to change the way these are. We could basically surround the whole area. So I could just like take, let's see here. Let's control, like grab a bunch of these and then control and shift, and we'll pull them out. And then, oh my gosh, I never know. Shift is the one that keeps it snapping. Okay. And then we could flip that around. You can see we could cover it all up. We could have a good time. Did it rotate in a different axis than I wanted? Oh, it just has a curve to it. That's nice. Yeah. So yeah, so that's the kind of thing we could be doing if we wanted to. And honestly, it actually probably looks good on the other side too. All right, not as much, but the depth goes the correct direction this way. But we could, I don't know, we're going to try to make something completely original. So this would be an approach that would honestly probably, we could just play, see how does that feel. A little like Zaz doesn't know how to use these things, but we could imagine, taking all of these pieces and moving them around to kind of create the same look, but fill out that third dimension that does it. Now, if you want to keep this, I think it has a beautiful arcade look. There's a lot to do there and you'd just be changing out things, but let's just go a little crazy. So I'm also going to go back to my default lighting. Again, like you turned the lights on and can see backstage in a haunted house, and this pleases me, so I'm having fun with this, and I'm gonna take out the walls. I think the stalactites are a reminder of what we're gonna do with the rest of the space, but this is a you know what, they have a name. We can do it this way. Cave walls, right? And we'll just control click and delete. Okay, cool. So now we've got a bunch.
I was just gonna say, I try very hard in these example games to give sets of things consistent names so that you can grab them. Please make use of the entity search and grab chunks of stuff like that. That's why I spent all that time renaming crap.
But you also spent a bunch of time making things clickable. So got that going for us too. I need to hold click for that. Oh, whatever. So like not that. I mean, okay, we could just, I don't want to delete, I guess I'll delete everything. Anyway, so these guys, I mean, I'm trying to make basically a very stripped down base so that we can make kind of a foresty
What
feel.
I do is I open the entity search and look at them. I don't even search by name. I scroll down and I don't select the first one, and I select every other one in the list. That way I'm left with one tree and one stalactite and one whatever.
That's very smart. Oh, might be well. This is all background stuff, so I probably am not. Yeah, I don't want to actually delete the ones from the platform either. I want the platform of doom to stay exactly where it is because it helps a lot. Okay, so let's see what our game looks like so far. Okay. And the fun thing is that the collision, which were those red walls, is still there. So I'm actually this is sort of beautiful. And as I'm doing this, I suddenly realized that I want it to look like the sky platforms that are going to be part of Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom. It makes me really kind of want to emphasize the floating platforminess. And I can probably do that with a minimum amount of effort. Let's try this. We're going to take the island cave and I'm going to very foolishly not rename it. And I'm just going to try changing out what is the detail? If I turn this, so also fun things you can do, right, is I can disable things. So if is this non-uniformly scaled or is it just moved up slightly?
The little detail is just moved. It's just shifted.
Oh, that's nice. I like it.
In the voxel component.
Yeah. So if I wanted, a flatter, one might say Minecraftier look to it, then that already gives me that. So we're going to disable that one for a second. We're going to disable this one first. Yeah, I guess I can just do it this way and we'll just add a new voxel object. I don't know why I want to do it this way, but trying to think of, I guess I'm thinking of the hills, but I want something that's flat to begin with. But yeah, we could use some of Summer's hills, and then this is kind of fun. I may want to recolor it because the yellow green and the blue green are clashing a little bit in my eyes. You can't scale voxel objects into, but yes, you can. Am I crazy? They all have to have the same scale?
Like on an object, you can't scale or rotate. You can only offset.
Okay. Well, all right.
The rest is at the entity level.
All right. So one of the problems with, using anything besides the rocky outcropping, the other thing we could do is remix it. That's remixable, right? So if I go to .bigbang.com, and what was it called? Combat Cave Ground. And here I'm going to swap this to, ooh, We Magical, looking very magical. See, I think it's sensitive if I do anything that needs like a dash. See, look, if you do combat dash, you're going to find all of the assets in it. I'm going to do objects only, but that's not much of an issue. But let's say I want to keep that exact same shape because I'm lazy. And oh, Summer. I mean, okay. So what I was looking at was taking your hill. And then I realized that if I do this, I'm also going to have to make custom collision for it. And so probably we'll theme the game that way anyway. But if you want to remix some ground pieces, then you can save me I'm actually just going to recolor this. But to make these platforms, or you could make custom walls that go with the rocky outcroppings, and we could do that. Yeah. Oh, a square would solve us a lot of problems. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, like a square and a correlating box, so we can use the same thing. Inspiration here we're going for right now is We Wish Tears of the Kingdom was already released. So Floating Sky Zelda-like, if you want to go nuts also, I will substitute it in at the end if you get there, because that sounds glorious. Okay, I'm just scrolling through this because it's enjoyable, but what I actually want is combat. Let's just get the exact case here. It was combat cave ground. And in my search, if I do combat space cave, then ground, this one. Okay, so we're going to view this. We're going to remix it. And we're going to grayscale it so that we can tint it infinitely, and then we'll come back to it later. Boom. So this is my really janky grayscale method. Just visually follow the line across. Is it Control Shift to fill everything into color?
Are you trying to replace all of one color? What are you trying to do?
Yes, all of one color.
If you have the paint bucket selected, the second option under paint bucket will do it. Oh, you're not in advanced mode.
Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, nice. Okay. Oops. We need the color picker. Okay. And the second option, we'll just then fill in all the dark. And then we will, again, using the Zaz method. Wait, is this darker? Okay, and then color picker this is I'm losing distinctions here anyway. So this is because I don't have a lot of creative ideas yet. I'm gonna get there, but we're gonna okay. So now we've got our we've almost got our grayscale platform. Let's see here. Is that in order from light? Are these different colors or?
Yeah, they get darker as they go down. That was basically the theme of all the art that I made.
Darker as it goes down.
We're fading into the blackness.
And then this and that. Sorry. We'll select again. This is the second darkest. Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Color pick the second darkest instead of replacing it. Paint it there. Color pick the darkest. I'm learning the new voxel editor. Put it there. Yeah, my darkest and my darker, I feel like they could have a distinction there. Maybe I can take this one and just nudge it down a little bit and then get all of those. Okay, that feels a little better. All right, so we're going to call this Combat Cave Ground Grayscale. And we'll save that. Okay, and then we can substitute it right in. Yeah. Sync. Yeah, so sync, that was like, I was going to grayscale it so that the color tinting works. I don't know if color tinting does it? I actually don't know if it blends with the color, or because I've just made everything grayscale out of habit, and so I don't know if it's blending with the color, or we can test this. So we're going to take
tinting wants to be on grayscale. If you do it on other colors, you don't get as nice effects, although you can compensate a lot by using a mixture of emissive and tinting.
Did you ever share that study you made of the two together?
The eggs, yeah. It's posted on the Discord somewhere, the one that I did of the eggs, I think. I think somebody posted it after I showed.
Yeah. It was a really cool like visual essay on it that you just didn't have to explain any further, which is why I liked it. All right, so we're gonna change this to mine, and I'll get mine, and then we substitute in there, and oh look, it's gray. And then I'm gonna hide detail for a second, and then we'll take that and we can kind of decide on a greenish color that feels like see, I always saturate things too much. Feels somewhat breathy and wild. Gosh, I saw a font that was like copyright evasion of saying it was Breath of the Wild, and it was the Wild Breath of Zelda. And I think about the Wild Breath of Zelda all the time. And then just because aesthetically this is driving me crazy. Is this emissive, or is it actually red, like the object?
It might be actually red. I cannot remember. It's actually red. Because it was, we didn't have tinting out when I shipped this, so.
Right.
So that means that all of my objects.
Fast pace of. Okay, so we could make it black and then just maybe then emissive that. Can I use that to basically override it into gray? Yeah. Okay, look at that.
Yeah, I do exactly that all over the place.
Okay. Yeah, glorious. Okay, so now we've got our little Zelda feeling thing. And let's just, for funsies, the nice thing about voxel object is that all I have to do is change out the voxel object. So I'm going to do the laziest version of this. I used a chicken once, but I prefer searching voxel objects here. So let's see here. What would I want? Like maybe some kind of bird. Not mine. I do have a Flappy Bird, but that was for another thing. Ooh, look at disagreeable bird. I want something that has an animation already, but I guess I can't. It's not animating automatically in here, is it? No. Gray bird is good looking. It's gonna have to be trash bird. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a trash bird. Okay, there it is. There's my glorious trash bird. Not the final art of this whole thing. Do we want that? Maybe we can find a rat. The word rat is in pirate. Man, it is always the same problem. Although I do want to steal this person's ghost pirate head. That's from a game, right? DMM, yeah, a lot of pirate going on here. whatever. I can make a rat. Probably. I don't know. What are I'm trying to think of what the enemies would even be. I guess a plant could do that. Except everything moves around. I haven't thought about trying to use the system for oh yeah. It's gonna be this. Can I remix that? Let's see. We saved that. Ghost Spirit and Undead NPC. Oh, is it an actual like skeletal object NPC? Oh, look at this little link. I'm sorry, distracted, focusing. We're looking for. What did I say I was going to look for? I was looking for this Monstera to see if I can remix it. Because I love it. Yes, I can. Okay, so we're gonna remix this, just so that basically we can add animation. Why? Is it? I need this up arrow shift. Okay, it's just like the editor. Okay, so we're gonna just add an animation frame so that I can just get the basic. All right, and now we're gonna pretend we are Summer right now, and we're going to animate very cleverly by selecting voxel objects and moving them progressively, piece by piece. And move this like in. All right, what does that look like? Well, a little fast. All right, so it's like, unfortunately, I do need to kind of pull this thing up at an angle, but the fact that the Monstera leaves hang directly down seems to be essential. All right, stop. Let's fill in what we're missing here. Very talented animator. This is the squash phase, I believe. I believe this is called. And yeah, I do. I just want this to. I guess I can figure out how to make an angle. I'm very capable. We'll just. Oh my goodness. Can I select voxels, however? There's the real question in my. Okay, I'm gonna move you up. And then we're gonna select you down and move you out. And select you down and move you out. This is gonna be very experimental. And fun, chaotic. That's the vibe. And yeah, if you have not seen the stream that I'm talking about, yeah, square grassy hill is up. Okay, excellent, awesome. We'll make that the second platform. This is beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so this is my little attack Monstera. I hope I picked the end that was already facing forward. I did. Okay, so now we can see it goes like, yeah, attack. All right, you know what? I stand by my creation.
Terrifying.
Thank you. I yeah. It's terrifying because it guilts you for not taking care of your houseplants enough. Okay, awesome. So we'll get a grassy hill. Oh, this is gonna be glorious. Okay, excellent. So this is my minimum things. Okay, sorry, trash bird, but we need attack monster. Okay, I'm the latest on everything anyway. Okay, so without changing anything now, we will be pursued by the attack monstera. Oh, but I'm in edit mode, so I should not have clicked. Anyway, stop. But yeah, that's it. That's all I needed to do. If I just wanted to not even understand the systems at all, I could do more of that. And then if I really want to look at this, I could say, okay, the fun thing about the NPCs is we can edit them directly. And Heather, there's already a video up for that, right?
Yeah, there's a video that shows you how to just make your own custom monster. We make a Cyclops together. It's on the Discord.
Oh, glorious. Yes. So, and there's not like a separate link for that. Is it on the YouTube or is it uploaded just on a drive?
For now, I'm just linking to it from the Discord.
Uh-huh.
It's in like the second or third post, so it's up near the top of the thread.
Right.
If you go up to the top.
They are the different. Okay.
I didn't bury it under Brad's documentation, so there you go. The one that, not that one, the next one down. That one's an overview.
Okay, making a Cyclops. I know.
The overview was
very vocal.
Yeah, I gotta re-record that one. I apologize to anyone who needed to use that to get started.
Yeah. So this will do basically more than what I'm doing. Yes, TMM, feed me. Well, that's it. We'll call this one Audrey too. We should actually probably rename it from Bat. You know what I should have done? All right, so don't be like Zaz, who will have to remix this game again. But I would suggest that before you modify an NPC, you make a template out of the first one. So yeah, so I can't access the bat template. So if you want templates, you've got to make them all yourself. So I should have done that before I did this. So now this is going to be NPC enemy Monstera. And I'm going to that's the entity name. And when I make a new template, I'm, did that? Okay, we're going to call this NPC enemy Monstera and we'll save that. So that way I have access to it later and I could say, I can copy it just fine with Control-C, Control-V if we wanted to have two Monsteras, which is probably not great game design in the beginning, right? But because I'm kind of overwhelming the player, not making a very friendly learning curve here, but we get the idea of it. And now that I've lost my mind and I like this little apartment thing, we're going to substitute out more things. Okay, yeah. So the point is that besides just changing out what it looks like, there's actually a bunch of things that I could change that aren't that hard. So, okay, so the unwalkable tag I thought was like a really interesting one. Because we could basically make something and say, okay, you can't walk on this. So let's say this is, right now it's got the tag unwalkable. So I could just add that tag to this, right? I could say, let's try it. And let's see the plant try to dodge it. You see, I can kind of kite it around this thing because it's not walking on it. And that's really cool. But right now I don't have to put unwalkable on everything and make it unwalkable for anything. I could also just decide, okay, plants have a special property where they can't walk through, I don't know, what's the kryptonite of plants? Darkness,
salt.
maybe?
They wouldn't like salt.
Salt. Yeah, so we could have a salt pool. We could give give this thing the tag instead of unwalkable, give it the tag salt, right? And then I can take this guy, and this is right now, if I push it to the template and then download the template, they will both match. But I think right now the changes that I make to this one won't necessarily affect this one. And if I say for this one, we want, where was the unwalkable? Oh my God. Okay, and I just add salt, right, is something that it can't handle. Then we will know we have salted the earth, if you will, that it should still avoid this little object. And if we made it a little bigger, I could probably stand on it and be like, nah, 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 but we didn't get there. Anyway, so all right, let's see here for the NPC itself. You think I want to change the voxel object offset?
If you're just wanting to change the height the plant's at, yeah, I would just change the.
It's an easy way to modify it. So this basically, that way I can keep my entity the same, but I can take this Y and I can just drop it to the ground. And then we really get attack of the killer houseplants here. Because now it's a much more conceivably in a room houseplant. Sand and fire, also the enemies of plants. Let's see. Plant type Pokemon really don't like what, electricity? What is it that you get plant types with? Fire. I'm not very good at Pokemon. I don't know if anyone can tell. Okay, so let's just continue on our. Let's actually look at some real scripts. So let's say that we're going to go with our apartment theme. And so we want to make an apartment type weapon, right? I don't know. Maybe it's a watering can or something like that. So these are the weapons here. And then we know that the weapons database is here. So I'll pull it here. And remember, we looked at that weapon data before. Data. And we've got the database, but I don't think we have to do anything to this. We're just going to add it in here, if I'm correct. Weakness for grass types are flying, poison. Poison for grass types? That just seems unfair. Bug, steel, fire, grass, and dragon. Grass is weak to grass. That makes me very vindicated in my choice to always start Bulbasaur. Yeah, now we know. See, we're learning all kinds of things in here. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to make another weapon. And so I'm going to, oh my gosh, Heather, help me. I'm going to start with making the object and then add it to the database. Yes, I have to.
That's the order I do because you're going to need a weapon. You're going to need an icon for your weapon. And then you're going to need a data for your weapon.
Okay, so, but if I were really lazy, I could use the voxel object as the icon. It just might not look good.
I think the alignment would be wrong. So you'd still need to duplicate it and move it around until it was correct in the alignment because it expects a top left pivot for the UI stuff.
Okay. So, and these are the icons or these are the voxel art?
They're the objects. I don't have any of the icons in the scene.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So we're going to take this and we're going to figure out by just sort of going through here what other things we could make this. So we've got the attack Monstera. I'm trying to think of like if there's like a spatula. No, I could probably make a spatula. Not all right. We're gonna do this sort of a lazy way, but it's one of the things that's nice is if I copy the existing art, then do I need another page? Okay. If I copy the existing art, so we learned that to do this latest and then combat space dash, and then I get all of the art in it. So if I were to find that, I won't find. Okay. Basic sword, do you think? Look at what the vox object is actually called.
Searching it
weapon dash sword. Okay.
Searching it either by its exact name or on my profile so it cuts down all the extra stuff is probably easiest.
Except that there's a lot of stuff on your profile too.
No. I mean, with the name, like with sword on my profile, I've only made a handful of swords.
Fair. So far. Oh yeah, you did. Okay, so grassy hill wall box is up. Okay, great. We're gonna swap to that too. So we're gonna remix this, and I'm gonna make a spatula out of it because that way I know. Oh, look at that! I can kind of tell where the pivot needs to be. Okay, so let's for this and just cut down all of this beautiful extra bits. You're saying, does push face have an, it's still alt to, what is it to push regardless of color? Shift. Okay. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to make you cartoonishly short. So I will delete that, and then boom. Okay, so this is going to be my basic spatula shape. And we're going to just make everything kind of gray. This is art with Zazz. Very exciting. Am I deleting things? No, it just matches the background too well. This is probably a poor choice on my part. Maybe we want a golden spatula. All right, we'll take this gold color and we'll make, yeah, we'll just, let's, and a slightly lighter color, which I could just do through there, and boom, boom, boom. And then we'll pick that selected an even lighter color, and we'll do like a pixel. Look at me, I know shine. I can do things. Like, boom. Okay, so that's my spatula shape. And I actually just want this for everything, so. Anyway, how are we doing? Okay, so we were going to have, when we get back in, which we don't have a ton of time, so let me finish my very ridiculous concept for a spatula here. We're going to just leave the coloring to be the exciting thing that it is, and we will overdo. Let's turn on a mirror tool here, save even more time. Okay, so we'll overdo this spatula top. Okay. And then I'm just going to do this lazily and carve it literally out. Unmirror, and we'll put one here. And yep, that is my very excellent spatula. Done. All right. We spatulating. Cooking themed dungeon crawl. Oh my god, with like egg enemies and like, oh my god, this would be adorable. Especially, yeah, I want like egg projectiles that like crack and land, and oh my god, that would be so cute. Okay, so yes, it's an asymmetrical spatula. I stand behind it. And hopefully that means it's actually going to match the rigging of how it fits in hand. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to change that voxel object to weapon spatula, select. And okay, so now we got a spatula. And probably I just adjust the hitbox for it. Let's see here. Let's confirm this. No, I mean, does this have a smaller hitbox than
it's the collider that you're looking at there? So
the capsule collider?
I mean, yeah, if you adjust it, you can, but it'll be quite hard to hit enemies. So that's why the short sword doesn't have a capsule that's actually the size of it, because I would have frustrated all my new players. So I would actually recommend being pretty generous with the collision, but lowering the damage the weapon does if you want it to feel weak, so that players don't feel like they're missing. They're instead just whatever. I mean, it might be a little different because you're using a different camera, so that's also going to give you a different view. So your mileage may vary. You got to test.
All right, we'll leave it as is for now. So we need to make a template out of this. The entity, we're also going to call this spatula. So rename this spatula so that when I drag it into the scene, this is the name it'll have in like the entity search and stuff. So it's worth saving it now. Which, speaking of saving, what a time to save. Okay, so we've got this, and then we are going to. Okay, so this template. Okay, I should have, again, I didn't actually mess it up this time, so we're going to be okay. But we are going to unlink it and make a new, oh my gosh, and entirely leave the section we were in and make a new template. then we'll name this, let's see here, let's match the convention here. So these were as a template called player weapon space dash space and then the name of it. So we can do that. We'll say player weapon space dash spatula, which I'm probably spelling correctly. We'll find out. Anyway, so now we've got the thing, we've made it a template. So now let's try to add it to our database here. Cosmetic and weapon database. And where are we going here? Boom. Okay, weapon data. We're going to, can we just copy? I mean, if I just add the script, right? It doesn't really matter if I
just copy one of the other scripts and then paste it as new. Because we can copy and paste now, and that's so easy. And then just change the date on it. You have to go up to the top to paste as new. So copy it there, but then go up there to hit paste as new. Yeah.
Oh, and it took me to the one. So that's nice. So we need to give this a different data ID. We're just going to call it spatula. Display name, I think of Doom seems to be a also very early 2000s humor. So that appeals to me specifically. We're going to keep the weapon tag on it. And then we're going to leave. Why does I copy the sword? Why does it say that the combat icon is bow?
Not sure if you copied that one unless you accidentally pasted other data on top of it before you copied it or something, but
yeah, actually you're right. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to leave the bow for now because that's all we have. And then the cosmetic template, that's where we get to pick this one, player weapon spatula. Attachment label weapon. I actually don't remember what that means. And we're going to set the cost to something that matches the broken sword. So whatever, it's going to be 1. And remove cost on purchase, I guess, just keeps you from buying it twice. Okay. So theoretically, we should be able to buy it.
Remove cost is what actually takes the money away from you, right? So it'll take 1 coin. If you don't click that, it'll just measure your coins. So if you wanted them not to be able to get a sword till they were a certain experience level, you would just measure the XP. You wouldn't remove it.
That's very clever. I love it. Okay, awesome. So then my question is there a way I can make this what the player starts with?
Yes, you want the very top database thing there, the game controller, the top icon. If you go
player equipment manager,
there should be a starting weapon somewhere. Sorry, it's very hard for me to see on your screen
here. All right, let's see if that works. And then really we should add it to the store because adding to the store is fun anyway. But here, no. Well, it's
you're gonna have to reset your data because it's gonna remember from before, right? So stop and save and then reset your data. Always save before resetting data.
Okay, yeah. It's funny in the context of how this game works, it's like you almost okay. So stop. Let's see here. Did we succeed in making the game controller do what I want to do? Starting top.
That doesn't look like the okay.
That is not the right thing.
Yeah, I can't. Your microphone and stuff is half over what you're doing. So just let me go into the combat.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Sorry. Okay. There we go. We've got it done. I just changed this and I think I changed the wrong thing.
I'm just opening mine up so I can tell you what it should say. I'm just opening the icon.
And this is why we make copies and templates of things so that we can restore it. Auto wear new purchase. Starting top data ID.
So yes, the
I'm assuming it's case sensitive, so maybe that's what I did wrong.
Yeah, the one you're changing should be the starting top data ID, and then it should. It was Rusty Sword by default, but you should be able to change it to whatever you want.
Oh, I clicked the backdrop. I'm like, where's my thing? All right, so we're going to say spatula. And I probably have to reset my data again, but let's save this because it saves that I have Rusty's sword. And if I do this, so resetting.
You got to go out of edit mode to use UI buttons.
Oh,
so
I've got to
just
go to
hit
the
return
game.
to game. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I say to save first.
Okay, look at that. We did it. We did it. We are now have everybody starting with the spatula, and we're going to, because we've got like 4 minutes left, we're going to put in Summer's platform because I'm excited. And we'll see, basically, we can look at what she made for this. So let's see here. Yeah, I'll do this later and we can do this. Okay, so I'm going to, I mean, I could just create a new voxel object. But for some reason, doing this makes me feel like I can revert my changes. So we'll add a voxel object. Although this methodology is going to get me in trouble at the end of this. So if I look for all, we should have, okay, grassy hill, 4-wall box, and square grassy hill. Okay, so if we select square grassy hill, we get this nice little square starting point. And I'm going to move it here. And then where are the spawn points? Move the spawn points onto it. Boom. It looks like, I can't tell right now, but I think I need to move it down. I want everything else to sort of work off by default. We'll just, okay. So we've got that guy, and then we're going to take this and we're going to make it that bounding box that we saw. But the thing that's going to get me in trouble is that we're using voxel object collision. And if I add another voxel object, it will still use the other one's collision. So we want that, select. And the nice thing is, and if you do this from yourself, right, what we're actually doing is hiding it when we start. So that script DBB gizmo, I probably should have just put these in the same place, but I like eyeballing it anyway, is going to be here. So we could actually just keep this, disable DBB gizmo. Let's see, we'll spawn in the right place, but we won't really be able to see the bridge. We could maybe bring it in here to kind of evoke it, but it's going to be a little bit weirder. And camera collision. Okay, this is an excitingly confined sort of experience. So I need to add camera ignore to it. Anyway, so, but instead of doing that, we're actually going to re-enable this. So this is going to make it disappear. And I'm going to delete this one so that the voxel object, well, I know, but you can't reorder these, right?
The components, no. So some scripts
so we
only
have to change this to box or none, then delete this one, then change it back to voxel object. And probably actually lined it up correctly so that nobody falls through there, because right now they actually literally could. And then for aesthetic matching reasons, we're going to take the voxel object and we are going to decrease its opacity significantly. So you get the feel of the box, but then bam, here we are. And the theory is, okay, I can't walk off the platform, and that is very nice. Okay, I am being assaulted by my monsteras very quickly. Let's delete one of them so that there's only the one. We'll move this guy further out so that we have time. We'll delete some of the debris. I should have gone over collective. Well, we're not going over. Right now, we are only here for chaos. But I do want an object that it has to dodge, so that would be something to contemplate if we turn this into like a little apartment diorama fighter, which I think has a lot of potential as a combat game answer. I cannot fight because I'm in edit mode, but that's okay. I'm a coward and I just want to hit that bridge. And now we're back. So anyway, Glorious, you have seen chaos enacted upon, could carve a door. Yes, all of these things would be great. We're going to take this party, however, to the Discord. So for other people who are working, for other people who want to share, would love to share screen with you and stuff like that. Please, oh my God, I made a little thing for this, but I'm only using it. please join the jam on itch.io. I'm trying to make itch.io a thing. I'm trying to make fetch happen. I'm trying to make itch happen. So appreciate your support on this. And there's a tutorial on there already on how to put your game up on itch. It is shockingly easy, and it's all embedded in the page. So if you've ever done game jams, being a web thing that people just play on itch is like a huge advantage, because expecting people to download like 10 games and then wait for Unity to launch is a big ask sometimes. So being able to run as quickly and easily as we do, you need to like, you want to do like normal web to like log in and persist data and stuff like that, but you can get the feel of it right off the bat. And that is the important thing, right? Get that experience going. So yeah, and then join us on the Discord link is in the comments right now, so you can come on over and we'll be there. What are my other parting thoughts? I can't remember now. Oh, and then the documentation for the Combat Jam is all about to go up on itch, probably just a little bit after this, so we will see you there. Join me in the Discord. Thank you, DMM. Thank you, Heather, for joining us. Do you have any parting thoughts you want to hit?
I don't think so. I had myself unmuted when I should know, so I'm glad I wasn't just sneezing or something. There are videos to teach you how to add loot, like I add a new bone collectible to the game. We add the UI for that, so you can get it on there. We make a new weapon for one of the monsters. So there's videos that cover quite a bit that would really help you skin this into your own game. If you're interested, the links are in the Discord for now. When the final versions of the videos are finished, they'll also be available on YouTube.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Join us on Discord. We will see you there, and it's going to be a rollicking good time.